just, you know, had to do it now. My ADHD brain said I can no longer wait to do this fucking video. And I was going to actually wait till I finished watching in bed the Natalie Woods documentary that I'm currently watching. I've got it on pause at the moment because I just put me and my girlfriend's pup hopefully to sleep. And I was going to do this video later, but you know what? I thought, fuck it, I'll do it now. My ADHD told me to. And um, so here it is. Here's the live video of the book that I have recently started reading. And it's not a fantasy novel, it's a rom-com this time. And it's the last book that I currently own on my shelf at the moment until I do another bunch of buys of books in bulk or whatnot. There's a few books I plan to get, and some of them are related to the Throne of Glass book that I finished reading by the legendary Sarah J. Maas author. And now I'm reading a book by Rachael Johns. And it's a Penguin book by Rachael Johns. The best love story of all is about to be read. And I'm talking about this book here, The Other Bridget, which, as you can see, is the book that I'm currently reading. And at the moment, I'm using a spare piece of paper as a bookmark. The original bookmark that I had in there that my aunt got me when she went away to Hawaii as a trinket. Unfortunately, me and my girlfriend's pup Luca had her own doggy ADHD moment, and she pretty much chewed that said bookmark. So I have a half chewed bookmark. Not the one that's currently in my book, but the previous book that I read, it was in that. So at the moment, I'm using a piece of paper as a bookmark. However, I do have 2 spare bookmarks out in the lounge room behind a chair. So at some point, I will grab them, or I might even at some point, maybe when I go to a bookstore next, or if I see some cool online bookmarks, I will definitely grab a bunch of bookmarks online. I will definitely do some of my research and see if there's cool bookmarks online I can get, whether they're related to Throne of Glass or A Court of Thorns and Roses or just something cool that's a bookmark. But for now, I'm using the piece of paper until at some time when I get sick of using a piece of paper, then I will reuse a stock standard bookmark again. And yes, I read, if you're wanting to know what chapters I read last night, I will tell you what chapters I read last night. I'm not going to go through all the actually, I might. Chapter 1 is called Chapter 2, Russian Roulette. Chapter 3, The Caffeine God. I love the name of Chapter 3. I love the fact it's called The Caffeine God. That is pretty damn cool. Chapter 5, Opposites Attract. Chapter 6, The Psychopath Next Door. Ooh, psycho. Chapter 7, Love Isn't a Character Flaw. Chapter 8, The Things We Do for Love. The things we do for love. The things we do for love. Slowly getting towards what Chapter 9 is called. Homicidal Thoughts. Interesting name of a chapter. And the chapter I'm up to, Caterwauling, is the name of chapter 10. So I read about chapters 1 to 10 last night of the other Bridget. And yes, I will re-explain to you what the story is on the back of the book again. The sizzling new enemies to lovers rom-com from Australia's best-selling romance writer, named after a famous fictional character. Librarian Bridget Jones was raised on a remote cattle station with only her mother's romance novels for company. Now living alone in Fremantle, Bridget believes that anyone who doesn't like reading just hasn't met the right book yet, and that connecting books to their readers is her superpower. If only her love life was that easy. When handsome Italian barista Fabio progresses from flirting with love heart singer Latte to joining the book club she runs at a library, Bridget prays her romance curse won't ruin things. And why is her grumpy neighbour Sally going to such extreme lengths to annoy her? Bridget decides to put both men to the test by finding the right books to capture their very different hearts. To her surprise, she soon discovers that the best love story of all might just be her own. A feel-good romantic comedy that celebrates the power and pleasure of books. Ideal with fans of Emily Henry and Marion Case. Now, I have not read any of Marion Case books or Emily Henry books as of yet, but if I were to, what Emily Henry / Marion Case books do you recommend that I purchase and read eventually if I were to read any Emily Henry books or any start that fucking one again. Getting a bit tongue-tied there. Which Emily Henry or Marion Keyes books do you highly recommend that I read? And I will hopefully do so one day. I'm just keen to hear any book recommendations, and I'm also keen to know if what other books besides The Other Bridget by Rachael Johns would you suggest. Now, this is The Other Bridget, so I already own that book, so don't recommend that I read The Other Bridget, because I'm currently reading that book. What does it say on the back? Yes. Okay, penguin.com.au, FSC, ebook and audio available. So this one does come in audio book form as well as, of course, the hard copy, which is the book that I'm currently reading. And yes, if you're wanting to know, do I do not just hard copy novels and audio books these days? I do both. Like, I wish I was introduced to Audible or the audio books that I also get on Spotify, because I use both. I wish I did those a long, long time ago. I love them. I think ebooks are great, and I think hard copy books are also great. Now it's time to read a smart comment on said live video before I get back and watching the Natalie Woods What Remains documentary film. And then I'm going to read a comment that someone roasted me on. I do like Family Guy, and I do like the character of Peter Griffin. However, I do not look like him, so why call me Peter Griffin in the first place? Anyway, let's read said two interesting comments. At Rose Cornelio F3G, hello. Hello to you as well. And at Peter AB P3I, basically his comment was Peter Griffin. Are you a Family Guy fan? Is that why you're writing on my said live video, Peter Griffin? I find that to be quite fascinating, why you're writing Peter Griffin on my said live video at all. I hope it's not to fat shame me, because I do not accept that type of stuff on my videos. Don't spread hate, anyone. Spread LOVE on my videos. Love and only love on my videos. And I'll see you in a bit. Hope you've enjoyed this live. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. The more views, the more likes, the more positive comments will be appreciated. So yeah, just be positive, just be plain positive. Okay, I'm going to start a Q&A. That's interesting. A documentary that really made you think answer. Okay. Interesting. That was rather an interesting thing. A documentary that really made you think. My answer was The Manosphere. And I'm talking about the Manosphere documentary that Louis Theroux basically did a documentary on. I thought the documentary on males that were part of the Manosphere that were, sexist and misogynistic was quite a interesting documentary, and it really did make me think, why the hell are there these type of males in the world? So that's why I thought to do the Q&A thing, which I will do every now and again on a live video, even if it's not about a certain subject, even if the video is about a movie and I'm reviewing a film, but then I might throw in a Q&A thing and, answer to that. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and don't forget to check out the book by Rachael Johns, that is The Other Bridget, and don't forget to purchase said novel as well. I really think you will dig this book. If you haven't picked it up yet, stop whatever you're doing. If you're in a different part of the world and your bookstores are still open, or if you're in the same part of the world as I am and there's no shops open at the moment that sell books, buy online. You won't regret it. So yeah, and actually I'm going to read, fuck it, my ADHD brain has decided to read one more comment by at Ava Rose NX2 said hi with a waving emoji. Hello to you as well. I hope you are having a lovely evening wherever you may be. And I will see my fellow fans and YouTubers in the next live or short or whatever video. I'm going to go back now and watch the rest of the Natalie Wood documentary, and I will review it for you live afterwards, says my ADHD brain. Bye for now.